You're sitting there, working, browsing the internet, or checking your email, when suddenly, in the corner of your screen, there's a notification that your computer has a pending update. You become slightly anxious, annoyed, or even angry because you're not quite sure what is going on. Your computer is working fine. You don't have any viruses. Why does your computer need to be updated? In this episode of You Know Computers, we'll cover the basics of why computers need to be updated and some tips and tricks on how to manage the updates. What are updates for and why do we have updates? We'll briefly discuss the 3 most common reasons for updates. First up is security. Security updates are the most important updates for any system. The creators of your device make sure that your system is as secure as it can be when it's made. As time goes on, weaknesses are identified and fixed. These fixes can only be added to your system through an update. Sometimes software just doesn't work the way it's intended. This can be for a near infinite number of reasons. Often the bugs that are fixed with updates are ones that you haven't personally been bugged by. These bugs need to be fixed anyways. The only way to get rid of bugs is through an update. Finally, new features. The best reason for an update is adding more features. The creators of your favorite software continue to add value to that software. The only way to give that value to you is through an update. All right, and here we are in Windows 10. So we're going to start by hitting the Start menu. Let's go to Settings. Pull up all the settings here. It's the very last one is Update and Security. This is where all the settings for updates are. And as you can see, I have some updates available. One is installing right now, one's pending install. And this is where any other updates that are either downloading or installed will be listed right here. And then below it is optional quality update available. This won't always be here, but if there is an optional quality update, this is where it'll be found. So you can opt into this one. This is, as it says here, is just a preview for Windows 10 version, whatever version they're on. This is something you can opt into downloading and installing, and they're looking to get user feedback on how it works so they can improve it before they push it out as an actual non-optional update. Here, if you want to do that, simply click download and install, and it'll just do it automatically for you. So this next part here is pause updates for 7 days. This can be helpful for you if you're doing anything that's time sensitive and you don't want your computer to update that might interfere with the software that you're using. Pausing it for 7 days gives you a 7-day window to work without the computer changing on you. Change active hours. Let's go ahead and look at this one. So this is set active hours. Lets us know when you typically use this device. We won't automatically restart your device during this time. So a lot of updates that come for Windows 10 require it to be restarted. And this lets the computer know when it can restart between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Those are the times I usually use the computer, so it won't automatically just restart while I'm using it. View update history, we'll look a little bit into that in just a moment. And advanced options, additional controls, view and update options. Here I do recommend going into and putting on update notifications, so show notification when your PC requires a restart to finish updating. By default, that's off. I like to have it on just so I know, that's when you get the little notification down here that tells you you need to restart to finish updating. I like to know that. Again, you can pause updates again here, but instead of for just 7 days, up to 35 days. I've not ever thought of anything that you could use it that would make this one useful, but here it is. But as it says here, if you do select it, you will have to install any updates that came within that up to 35 days before you can then pause again. Microsoft wants you to update. So here in View Update History, you can see everything that's been updated since the Windows was installed. The Windows. And all here, and then if you click on it, it would open up a web browser and take you to the web page that explains everything that was updated for each one of these. If you ever want to know, it's right there. This option here at the top, uninstall updates, can be useful. Now, it's typically not recommended you uninstall anything that Microsoft pushes out to your computer. But if there's a piece of software that you use that's run into issues from an update, and the only option to get it working is to uninstall one of the updates. This is where you do it. Any update that can be uninstalled, when you select it, we'll have an uninstall here, or if you give it a right click, see, it'll show up. This one, security update, cannot be uninstalled. So that's why the option isn't here. And if I right click, nothing happens. So this is where you would go to uninstall an update if it's problematic for you. Again, not recommended, but if it's necessary to do something vital, this is where it is. And those are the Windows updates.